Hello children, back to our class. In the previous class, we have discussed about what is pollination and kinds of pollination. Why the pollination is necessary for a flower to produce into fruit. So, and now we are going to learn about agents of pollination. Here, agents of pollination means how the pollination takes place. That is, how the process of transfer of pollen from anther to stigma takes place. So, naturally occurring is due to the wind. That is the air force. Due to the force of wind. The pollen grains which are present on the anther falls on the stigma. It's accidentally happened. So nobody is involving. Just the agent there is wind. But in some situations, the air and sometimes water also helps, and animals. Some small insects which are present on the plants helps in the process of transferring the pollen from anther to stigma. Even the insects also helps for the process of pollination. In search of nectar, the butterflies and many insects move from one flower to another flower and then sight and the flowers and suck the nectar. In search of food, they are unknowingly transferring the pollen grains to the stigma and helps in the process of pollination. So, these are the naturally occurring agents. These are the natural occurring agents which helps in the process of pollination. If the farmers are spraying more pesticides to the crops, then the insects or the small creatures which are present on the plant will die. Then there is no process of pollination takes place. Why? Because there is no any intermediate. There is a agent is lacking there. So the process of pollination will not take place. Then the plant cannot reproduce or cannot produce fruits. If the fruits are absent, there is no seeds. Without seeds, there is no reproduction of the plant. Means next generation plant may not be take place. So the pollination process is important for the plant. Next, this is about the natural agents. Is it true? Is it true that the pollen is the main agent for the flower? For the flower convert into a fruit. Means does the fruit is prepared from the flower? It is produced from your flower only. Is it correct? You may get doubt. For that, we are going to perform an activity. Take a bitter gourd flower or body gourd flower. Take, if you use a brush or otherwise, you can take the mastic and at the tip of the mastic where the black color part is there, keep some cotton to that one and rub that to the anther of the flower. Where the anther is present? Inside the flower. You can see easily. With our eyes only we can observe it clearly. The yellow color powder structures. The particles only. Rub with those mastic or you can use a brush and take the another flower. Select another flower of the same plant or different plant. Open when it is an opening condition only, means which is the flower which is ready to open. Take that and open their petals. You only open the petals and whatever the pollen grains you have collected from different flower, rub to that stigma of the flower. Again, close the petals of the flower and don't leave as is. Use a polythene cover. Means keep a polythene cover and tie with that polythene cover. Why? Because here we are performing an activity. So natural agents are not involved. They should not involve. That's why we are tying the flower with the polythene cover. So we are preventing the natural agents. After opening, due to the force of the wind, again the pollen may reach to the stigma. Already we have done it. Is it correct? So to prove that only we are doing this activity. So we have to tie the polythene cover and leave it for few days. 2 to 3 days. After some days, the petals will peel off. Why? Because the natural process is same. During the formation of the fruit, the petals will dry and shed off. Natural. So, here we are inoculated the pollen grains from one flower and we are added it to stigma of the another flower. Means the process of pollination takes place will automatically done there. Then after pollination, the stigma reaches, the pollen grain reaches the stigma and stigma to the ovary. Again fertilization takes place, then zygote formation takes place. The ovary develops into a fruit. So after few days you can observe the formation of a fruit. By this we can confirm that the pollen grain is the important factor, important particle which is essential for the process of pollination and for the process of fertilization and even for the formation of, means the production of a fruit or a vegetable. So this is the process, how the agents are important for the process of pollination. Next, pollen grain after pollination. Till now we have discussed the this is the anther and this is the stigma. This anther falls on the stigma and the pollination takes place. But after pollination, what happens? Now we will discuss that one. See, this is the stigma. This is the stigma pot and this is the pollen grain. Here there is no anther. I will mention the anther. Why? Because now we are going to study about the fertilization. Already the pollination has done. So the pollen grain reached the stigma. This is the stigma, means the center point. This is the, I am explaining about this large structure which will come out. There is a female reproductive pod and gynecium. Here no androecium is present. This is the gynecium. This is a female reproductive pod, stigma, style, ovary. This is the ovary and this is the ovule. So the pollination has already done. Why? Because you can see the pollen grain on the tip of the stigma. When these pollen grain reach the tip of the stigma, here the stigma consisting of sugary substance. That's why the insects are attracted towards the flower. Here nectar is nothing but a sugary product itself. So here due to the absorption of the sugary substance from the stigma, the pollen grain will develop a tube-like structure. If it is a pollen grain, it will develop a small structure and go on, and day by day it will develop into a big tube-like structure and reaches. This is a stigma and this is a pollen grain which develops a pollen tube, and this pollen tube reaches the ovary and connects with the ovary of the stigma. Got the point? So this is the pollen grain. After pollination, it develops by the absorption of sugary substance from the stigma, develops a pollen tube, and this pollen tube reaches the ovary and enters into the ovary of the flower. After this, when the fusion, here this is pollen grain is the male reproductive organ, means it's a reproductive part, and this is a female reproductive. Here the fusion of male and female reproductive parts has done. So we call it as fertilization. We call it as fertilization. Then we call that after fertilization we call the ovary as zygote. You can see here zygote. The transfer of pollen from anther to stigma is called pollination. The fusion of male and female parts to form a zygote. Here to form a zygote. This zygote next develops into a fruit. Nothing but the early stage of the fruit. We call it as zygote. Is called fertilization. Okay. Fusion of male and female part of the flower to form a zygote is called fertilization. So after the formation of this zygote, then the petals will ripe up, means dries and will fall down. Next, you can observe small fruit structure. In some cases, you can see the sepals. The petals will dry and peel off, but whereas the sepal remains. For example, tomato, you can see the green color structure here. Even brinjal, that is nothing but petal. Chilies, the green color part is remain there. That is nothing but sepal, whereas the petal will dry and fall. And that ovary, this ovary is developed into a fruit. Inside you can see small seeds. Those are nothing but ovules. When the fruit is in the flower shape, the flower stage, the ovules, these ovules only develop into seeds in the fruit. Okay. For this also you can conduct an experiment. Take some pollen, same as just now we have repeated in the last experiment. Collect some pollen grains and take 2 glass slides. Add some water to both the slides and add some sugar to one slide and leave one slide remain with water only. Then the pollen grains with whatever you have collected spread with the mastic on the 2 slides. Leave it for 2 or 3 days and observe under microscope. You can see these pollen tube, means the formation of pollen tubes takes place on the glass slide in which we have added sugar. But on which slide we didn't add it, means on the another slide there is no, in which there is no addition of sugar, does not develop the pollen tube, means there is no sugar. The pollen tube will not automatically develops. It develops by absorption of sugar substance from the stigma. Okay. This is the one more activity. By this also we can prove that the sugary substance are also essential for the process of fertilization. Okay. So this, here the ovary develops into a fruit and ovule develops into seeds. Next one is the sexual reproduction. What is sexual reproduction means? Till now what we have learned about the development of fruit from a flower is called sexual reproduction. Means the development of a baby plant. Development of a baby plant from zygote is called sexual reproduction. Till now you have learned the formation of zygote. It has done here. It is nothing but early stage of the fruit. When the fruit bulges and increases in size, it develops into a normal fruit. You can see seeds inside them. When the seeds will dry and when you sow the seeds under favorable conditions, or it may be done accidentally by the seed dispersal, the seeds will rise into new baby plant. So here nothing but the baby plant from the zygote means development of a plant from the seed. Where the seeds are coming from? Again from the fruit itself. So development of a baby plant from a seed to form a zygote is called sexual reproduction. This is about the sexual reproduction. Till now what we have learnt. And in the next class we are going to learn about asexual reproduction. Okay children, I hope you have understood this one. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you children. See you in the next class.